Several Iowa school districts are looking at pulling certain controversial books off the shelves. Parents have challenged the books because of their alleged vulgarities inside. Governor Reynolds called for a streamlined approach to the state's challenge process and her Condition of the State address. In a one-on-one interview with KCCI's James Stratton, Reynolds read a passage from the book All Boys Aren't Blue, calling it rated R. And we do want to warn you, the passage does describe a sexual encounter. James gives us context to the passage the governor read.
When asked about Senate President Jake Chapman's comments about a, quote, sinister agenda and his attack on the media and teachers, the governor said she was responsible for her own actions and did not denounce his comments, but instead offered this.
I'm not sure what your question is, but if you're talking about do I think inappropriate things are being displayed in libraries and in classrooms across the state, from what I've heard from parents, I absolutely agree with that.
She then proceeded to read an excerpt from this book, All Boys Aren't Blue, which is now being challenged in school libraries across the country.
I'd be happy to read it, and then maybe your listeners can decide if they feel whether it's appropriate or not to have young kids have access to a book that says, would you like me to read it?
Sure.
Okay, you told me to take my pajama pants, which I said to take off my pajama pants, which I told you, which I did. You then took off your shorts, followed by your boxers. There you stood in front of me, fully erected, and said, taste it. At first, I laughed and refused, but then you said, come on, Matt, taste it. This is what boys like us do when we like each other. I finally listened to you. The whole time, I knew it was wrong, not because I was having sexual intercourse with a guy, but that you were my family. I only did that for about 45 seconds before you had me stop. Then you got down on your hands and knees and told me to close my eyes, and that's when you began oral sex on me as well. So I don't know, if parents feel that that is appropriate for children in K-12 education, then I think that's a decision for parents to make.
We wanted to air the full excerpt read by the governor so parents could hear what was in the book. But to give it context, we also want to tell you what comes before and after this passage and what the book itself is about. All Boys Aren't Blue is a series of essays written by George M. Johnson about growing up as a queer black person and what they experienced. Before the passage the governor read, Johnson talks about how confused he was by the experience. He says, quote, I knew what was happening wasn't supposed to happen, he writes in the book. Cousins weren't supposed to do these things with cousins, end quote. After that passage read by the governor, it goes on to say, quote, I didn't have a handbook to learn sexuality as a queer boy. My crash course was happening right in front of me, end quote, adding that he felt guilty but euphoric about the situation. Johnson spoke with CBSN in November.
That was why I specifically wanted it for young adults, because I wanted them to feel seen in a way that I never got to feel seen growing up. Johnson
also tweeted, Iowa is now trying to criminalize teachers and librarians that share All Boys Aren't Blue and books like mine with students. Game on. Which there has been talk about. Senator Chapman has said teachers and school employees who give obscene material to students should be criminally prosecuted. The governor also says students should be focusing on math, reading, and science instead of material like this.
I don't believe that those kinds of books should be available to children.
But Johnson says he knew it would come to this and, quote, that it would rattle the nerves of people who have always suppressed stories like mine. In Des Moines, I'm James Stratton, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
All Boys Aren't Blue has been removed in school libraries in 10 states across the country. The other books challenged here in Iowa and across the country include Lawn Boy and Gender Queer.